And we live now. We live. We live. We live.
PJ, you on mute.
Gonna let
You
a
gotta do
couple
that for
people.
the first 10 seconds. Yeah, get them up in here earlier.
Let
There
them
we
get.
go. Get them in here. And she got on white too, showing her them crunchy eggs.
Oh.
London and PJ, share the joint on Facebook. Get more viewers in here.
Hold
All
up.
right, let me open another tab.
See, I had the iPad on mute because I can't get the sound on there.
My grandparents follow me on Facebook. I don't got time for that.
Your grandparents. Let's go. Oh.
Hold on. I'm about to.
All right. We about to go
Am
back
I
on this
even?
now.
I even follow shit on Facebook.
Damn, that's fucked up.
I think I do.
I gotta watch my language. No following.
Wait, what is it? How do you? What's the Facebook page?
Oh shit.
Huh?
Oh shit. Pound sign flag talk.
Is that all one word?
No. Hmm. You send it to them. All right. You want to bring in the first guest, PJ? Introduce. Well, they're gonna
Nah,
introduce.
you got it. You look. That's your pops.
All right. Now my pops can't be the first one. I think the first one I'm gonna bring on is my uncle. Man, today's show we interviewing a bunch of people who basically taught me the game. They got hella nationals under their belt. They're gonna talk about what it takes to build a team, what it takes to win the nationals. So the first one I'm gonna bring on, I don't know, he turned his camera off. Uncle Paul, where you at? Where you at?
I'm here. I'm here. Just trying to get more people to the cast, get more people to the broadcast. That's
Oh, I
it.
got you. I got you. Introduce yourself to the people for me, real quick, for those who don't know.
My name is P Hall. That's what I'm known by. I always wore the number 19, no matter what team I played for. That's just me. Played flag football for a bunch of years. Bunch of years. Love the game. Love the camaraderie. But that's me in a nutshell.
Who you play for? I know you got a few teams you play for. What's a couple of
Yes,
teams?
sir. Yes, sir. I started out the Mecca Warriors AC. You know, that's where my bread and butter, my roots started. That's where I learned the game. Rest in peace, Conrad. For the bunch of us, all about the game. I also played with the Metro Chiefs for a number of years. Our brother team got to play a lot of 9-man with them and against them. Um, got a national championship, and it was an honor to play for a team that my grandfather played for, Brothers AC. So I got a national championship with them. Got to share, 2 years with them. It was a great experience. And then got a national championship with a new team that, it ain't new no more. I think y'all might call them cheat code. But we were all met. We came and even before all met, we were the core generated. We were a team that we broke off on our own, me, your father, my brothers, and we tried to do our own thing. And then from there, we went to All Met. So I got a national championship with them as well. Um, After that, the road was low.
That's what's up. I remember all that. All right, next person we're gonna pop on. Um, yeah, let's bring pops on the jump. Let's bring pops on. Father,
What's up? What's
what's
up,
up?
people?
For those who don't know, this is my father. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
All right, I'm Derek Smith. Man, I played flag football for about 25 plus years. Um,
Hmm.
I started out with this raggedy team called Bump and Run. I was probably 150 pounds. They had me playing blocking back and corner. Um, and then Lorenzo, who about to log in a few minutes, he told me about the Warriors. So I went over to the Warriors, played with them, played cornerback, wide receiver. Won 2 nationals with them. Moved from the Warriors to the Metro Chiefs. Played with them. Won 2 nationals with them. And from Metro Chiefs, went to the Core. And we ain't do nothing with them. That was like a practice team. Then from the Core, I moved on to All Met. Won multiple tournaments. I never won a national with them, but we won every tournament there was. I don't think they was going nationals back. I don't remember, but
we didn't play any there.
Yeah, every city we went to, man, we tore to join up. And then from there, I went to Brothers AC, won a national with them. I won 2 nationals with the Chiefs, 2 nationals with the Warriors, and 1 national with Brothers AC. And I can't even remember how many tournaments we done tore up on the A level. We never played B. We never played anything lower than A. So
it had to be over 100+ tournaments, Dirk, that we've won in all those years.
I can go outside.
Those amount of teams.
If y'all ready.
Tournaments and leagues. Any league we was in, we dominated. Any just for the Warriors AC. We struggled a little bit starting out, maybe the first year and a half. Then we caught our stride and just was wrecking everything. So I'll leave it at that and let you dig a little bit more. Anybody else you got introduced? Oh, yeah, Stacey.
Dirk, you the man too. I forgot we got 2 nationals with the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. I'm gonna add my man Steven to the podcast. What's up, Uncle Steve?
What's up? What's up, nephew?
Hey, introduce yourself to the people for me, real quick.
Big 6. That's Big 6.
That's
Lavernius.
Number 6. Yeah, number 6 from the Warriors. As far as introductions, that is my introduction. What I can say is that when I first started playing flag football, I was playing 9-man flag football. I can't remember the name of the team. But
it was the purple team.
Yeah,
Anthony and them.
Yeah, so and basically was playing 9-man, dominating at that point. And then what ended up happening was Paul and Dirk and them, they were starting to play 9-man with us. And then they was like, man, hey, you might want to come to the Warriors. And Nicky Lynch, remember Nicky Lynch, y'all? He was like,
yes, sir. A legend, shooting legend.
Right. So then Nicky, he was like, well, that's where he was going. So I was like, well, then if all y'all going there, then all right, I'm there. And then when I get there, Nicky ain't there. He with the Chiefs. But Dirk, Paul, Lorenzo, all of y'all, y'all was with the Warriors, so I could stay there, And then from there, I ain't the type to move around anyway, so I pretty much stayed there the majority of my flag football career, if you want to say it, until I, had my knee surgery. You know how we would have them big old practices. Our practices is like games, really. So we will be practicing offense versus defense. I happen to have to play defense and bump knees with one of the players, and I end up having to get knee surgery from there. And then, then my story there changes. But before then, like Dirk was saying, we had a number of championships with the Warriors. We were dominating. Really, folks didn't want to see us, but they liked seeing us because they know that they're going to get a good game out of us. A lot of teams watched us grow to the point where we ended up beating them. Before, they were dominating us, but then after a while, the wiseness kicked in. We started beating the Chiefs, the Cutters, all those good teams, older teams that was there. And pretty much we were like one of the teams to beat. So, we played, we ended up playing 9-man flag football as well on Baltimore. All of those games we played 2-hour. We was playing like each game was like 2 hours long. I remember we played like 2 games. These would have us playing 2 games on the same day, for example.
No, sometimes we had 4.
Well, yeah,
Exactly. We were
yeah,
that four
we
sometimes.
would have
Yep.
right. And the thing is, we were playing both ways. You know what I mean? We was playing both ways, so that means you had to be in shape. Everybody on our team was in shape. There was not a weak link, and I think that was one of the things that scared teams because we didn't have a weak link anywhere from receivers to deep offense and defense. There was no weak link, and I think that's what teams it scared teams. But I think the more competitive teams enjoyed it. You know, they expected that and they enjoyed it, and they actually displayed that at the end of the games. But yeah, but then, like I said, after that, I think when I came on, I heard you guys was talking about how we ended up shifting, going to different teams. You know, going to the what was that? The All Met with Smoke team. You know, and then changing gears and going elsewhere. Well, I think for me, it got to a point where
All right, wait a
once
minute,
I had
Steve. Hey, Steve, it's the introduction. It's the
oh, my
introduction.
bad. Oh, you already know. You know
Hey,
how we can
Steve,
just
Steve
keep
doing the
going.
synopsis.
Well, you already know. I mean,
Hey,
you can
look, hey, Steve, you answered
introduce.
Mike's question, what it takes to win a national championship, and you were going into that. So you're making some great points, but I think Mike gonna react that later on.
Yeah, I
But
got
you
you.
hit a lot of the stuff on it.
Okay,
We
okay,
got we
okay,
got two
okay.
more people to add on here. I'm pretty sure everybody know this one right here. The
Hey,
GOAT himself. What's good,
The
Uncle?
GOAT, Gazelle.
hey guys, Stacy Turner. I guess most people in y'all age group know me as a quarterback, but with this particular group, I came in as I was a flat safety and flat receiver. It's funny. I would say Derek Smith punked me into playing for the Warriors. If we had to, and me, him, and Lorenzo, and man, they used to joan me so bad because I'm a Virginia boy, born and raised. They used to give me the blues because the type of flag we played wasn't contact. So every day at work, I had to hear this dude and Lorenzo just give me the blues. But one of the best decisions I ever made, flat out, flat out. I wouldn't have enjoyed nothing like this if I had stayed out there just playing regular screen flag football. So
You said my father got you in the flag war? That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, he
yeah,
did.
oh
Over
man,
here
hey, Mike,
on the Maryland side.
first of all, Mike, we just had a whole party. You know how your father Joan, right?
Right.
Imagine that. Imagine that from like 90 days. Every day at work. Every
That's,
day at work. Literally every day at work.
I ain't never know that.
Oh,
Hold on,
he
we
got
got
me?
two more people to add on this jump.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Get into it. All right, my man Frank. What's good, Moss?
Yo, it's
Moss.
yes sir. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. This is long overdue. Number 9 used to be number 0, used to be number 8, and my story goes with the Warriors. I was 3 years too late because Tony Black told me to come on in '97, and I was like, nah, I was still trying to do the basketball thing. But when I came over, it was my first meeting was at the rec center with Paul. Used to work. First question he asked me, not what position I played, what's your team? And I'm like, I'm with the Raiders. He's like, well, we're gonna be battling all the time because I'm with the Steelers, and that was my first
Go
memory.
get him, Frank.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like my thing was it was always the battle against the Warriors. And every time we played y'all, it was Lorenzo, China, and Tony Black. Yo, when you gonna come play with us? And I'm glad I did. And for this one group, I will never forget spring 2001. What we did when we beat the Chiefs, man. I've never seen the sideline.
Oh,
That's one of my greatest sports memories when we beat the Chiefs twice in that tournament that spring in 2001. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had. I mean, it was just perfect football because we used to play, like y'all said earlier, 8-man and 9-man in the same tournament, dog. One of the best experiences I ever had, man. So I'm just thankful to be a part of it.
The 105-yard run with Steve leading me down the middle of the field. I used to broke the Chiefs back. Hey Steve, what's the 9-man game?
hey, Steve, your return.
Was it my return?
How we won the championship. And then I hit Steve on the post.
Oh, yeah, that was the end of it.
Seal the deal.
And then he hit me on a 71 to end the game. We had to do his first down. and he called a 71. I came across the middle, boom, first down, ball game. Man, their whole sideline was hot. They couldn't believe it. They thought they had us, man.
Yeah, that was the upcoming.
Hey, you got more people to log in, Mike, before we get into it?
I got one more here.
Okay.
This is Tony Black, but
Yes, sir.
Oh, the historian.
The historian. Oh my goodness.
Turn your camera on, Tony.
Oh man.
Boost mobile phone. See your face, Slim.
He don't know what button to click. You know Tony older than all of us.
That's right. He got a flip phone.
Tony like 60.
Hey,
man.
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We just can't
We
see
need
you.
to see you. We need to see
Hey,
you, brother.
I have no idea what it's doing.
Hit the button in the middle.
Hit the button.
Outside.
Thanks, Dirk.
There's a camera button on your screen.
On this motherfucker.
Yeah, right
Stacey, you
there.
can't talk about nobody. It took you a little minute too.
That's Virginia school.
Hey, Virginia school.
Here we go.
Hey, watch
Here
that.
we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Y'all went to school in Ward 9. Stop playing.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Tony Black. Tony Black went to AC Woodson, didn't he?
Nah,
Nah, it wasn't Duval.
I went to Duval, man.
Duval.
Oh, that says it all. My bad.
They can flag
Yeah.
football.
What's that? But you know what I mean? This is
Uh-oh.
very few people have actually.
We not putting Floodman on here?
Yeah, I just hollered at. I just sent holler at Lorenzo. He should be joining in soon.
That ain't Floodman.
Tony couldn't get in.
I think he probably gonna tap out and then come back in.
Oh, okay. Hey man, we gotta talk about real quick some of the teams we beat, some of the teams we named, man. Metro Chiefs, Cutters.
I'm gonna drop one of our biggest wins, D. It was the Cutters.
But wait,
Oh, yeah.
wait. These teams were the biggest teams in the area. That was whooping
teams
everybody.
in the country.
Nah, not just the area,
the
Dirk.
country.
They were the biggest in the country.
In the country.
In
The country, bro.
Yeah,
Because you got to remember, Derek, a lot of teams wouldn't travel.
right.
Exactly, but they was getting everything.
We did.
We would travel. A lot of teams refused to travel. They want us to come play their tournaments, but they wouldn't come on this side for whatever reason. They wait till nationals and let everybody beat themselves up, and then they hope to be on one side of the bracket. That's how it used to work.
Hey, but locally, man, these teams were unbeatable at the time. Nobody was touching the Chiefs. Nobody was really touching the Cutters.
Damn.
Nobody was really touching the Brothers.
Yeah, my brother
They was a
making-
top-notch team. And then
And then
when
I
we
got
came
my
into
own.
our own, we just started beating everybody. I think it's fair to say, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but from 98 to 2003 was all Warriors. 97, 98 to 2003 was all us. We was winning.
Put it like this. I don't think we got the name recognition, but
Definitely
nobody
not.
wanted to see us.
Definitely not.
Hey, we
Nobody
still
wanted
don't.
to see us at that point in time.
100%
We still don't
right.
And when they had to, they caught it.
Yeah, they still won't give us the credit. We the unsung team of flag football.
Exactly.
If you talk about the 90s, early 2000 Warriors, we was dominating. But nobody want to give us our just due because we wasn't the type that was hitting everybody's cabarets. We wasn't the type that was on the streets like that. You know, we just balled out. And our practices were games. So you could
Oh, wow. Them battles. Woo!
Oh, my God.
You could not come out. We was about 30, 40 deep in practice. It wasn't no trickle in like Menace. It wasn't like 10.
Hold on. Think about it, Dirk. We were so good. We had enough to have an offense against a defense in practice.
Right.
And people on the bench.
Like we would pick teams and it would be that good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So, all right, what you
Hey,
got?
Now, once again, and Mike brought it up, but as great as we were and as talented as we were, once again, I still look at those teams that you talked about that we strive to beat. And the one thing that we had, just like those teams, it wasn't just about talent. It was our coaches. Like we had a real coaching staff, and I'm sorry, it's no way that you win a national championship
Post.
without a solid coaching staff. A coaching staff that's going to keep you in check. Know when to bench people when they got big egos. You know what I'm saying? Know when to tell people when to settle down. Know when to call that running back straight up the middle, and we had that. So we were blessed to have a coaching staff of 3 men that were totally dedicated to us.
Yeah, and they
Facts.
demanded respect. It wasn't
Yes,
no talking
sir.
back to them. They demanded
I
respect.
think each and every one of us have been benched or threatened to leave because of something Conrad said to us or did to us.
Hey,
But we had to
Paul.
respect that.
Hey,
Man, we
Paul,
had to earn.
man.
No, you had to earn your keep. Like I had to go.
Yes. Oh man, yeah. If you didn't ball out practice, you weren't playing.
Hey, tell that story, Stacy. What you had to do?
I had to go play for another team just to show I could even play.
Hey, Paul. The first member of my.
All right,
first
look, Mike, we don't
trip.
want to take over the interview, man. Go ahead. You got questions. You got a format. We
Go, Mike.
looking like
Nah, you
we
good.
chilling,
Y'all,
so.
y'all can talk over old days. I know a lot of people used to talk about the old Eli. You know how things changed from flag football back then to what y'all see now. Can y'all compare the two styles? Was it more physical back then? Did they let y'all bump more back then? What's up?
Want me to answer that one?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Start, Stacy.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Hands
Go ahead.
down, what we did back then was 10 times more physical than what I see now.
Yes, sir.
Physical.
Yeah.
It was. Oh my God! It was tackle football with a flag on your flag on your hip.
Yep.
Dudes,
We seen eye sockets getting knocked out.
Huh?
Hush your mouth, Dirk.
We
Hey,
seen
Zo, try to click the link, Zo.
Hush your mouth. No. But here's the thing that I kind of noticed in going back out there recently and watching these games. And what we have to factor in is that when I go out to the games, what I notice is that most of the officials, I talk to China on the regular, it's officials who I didn't like during the game, but we boys now, we kick it. So I look at a lot of the officials now are ex-flag football players. Now, would I think that they understand that, we had officials like Ralph in Cleveland that would let us get physical. We had officials, but some of these officials didn't necessarily play the game. I think that this new game of officials, whether it be Caddy, whether it be China, whether it be Danny, what they know is how bad the game can get. And so they have to keep it at a level where with these young men and their temperaments, they can't let them play like we played. You know what I'm saying? We can play and get into a scuffle after play, and guess what? The game might still go on.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? Things would separate. It would settle down. We would play. It's a different era now. They can't allow these young men and young ladies to hit each other the way we used to hit each other.
Well,
If
you
that makes
forgot
sense.
about that one game, Paul. You forgot about that one game against Air Posse.
I know down Eli. I know down Eli, Steve.
Yeah, where the way they tried to play.
Well, those
I figured
referees
they
didn't
tried
have
to
control of
intimidate.
that game, and at that point, we controlled that game.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, teams back then they would try to intimidate you, and if they intimidate you, they got your heart, then they got
Right.
your game. It's a little different the way they play now. The way they play now, they don't play with that type of tenacity. I don't think. I'm not saying that it's warranted now, but I don't think they play with that type of tenacity now because back then the threat of them actually causing a fight afterwards could scare some teams. Not us, but it would scare some teams, and just
That's
it
true.
caused them to lose. It caused them to lose the game that they're playing because they're actually afraid of what's going to happen after the fact.
Man, go back to the roughness of the game, man. I don't think a lot of people in our area didn't go to Baltimore and play in Cherry Hill. A lot of people ain't
Oh, they
played.
never knew what that
Oh,
was.
A lot of
God,
people
man.
ain't played.
They never knew what it was to be in the wire.
Yeah, you're right.
Man,
Exactly.
that was some
Playing
straight
football while the
hood.
wire going on.
That's
Let
some
me just
straight
say this
hood
one
stuff.
point. Let me make this one point. Cherry Hill, no bull. they had a crack table in the corner, in the far end zone, in
Yes,
the
sir.
corner, and there
Yes,
was a
sir.
crack game going on while we were playing.
On which field, Tony? On
They
which
were
field,
gambling
Stacey?
on every single game, and like you
Which
said,
one?
it was on.
The first one on the second field, Stacey. Which one?
No, that was down in Annapolis. They was
No.
gambling.
Annapolis was the other field where they had the shed.
Yeah, I'm talking about the
Cherry
one
Hill,
that had the crab table.
the Catonsville
At
League.
Cherry Hill, they had a crab table, and remember the dude drove his car onto the field.
They drove with the four wheelers across the field.
Not the four wheeler. He drove his car because he lost in the crab game. And we had to post, and we had to move for a second. Then they put the dude back off, and then we kept playing.
Wow.
And
Cherry Hill was the
rough
one.
area. Go ahead, Stacey.
Nah, this Cherry Hill was just the one that actually just sticks in my mind. It was crazy.
The Catonsville League, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
Remember that?
Yeah, that was Catonsville League, the 9-man league.
Yeah, that 9-man league where they cheated us in the chip. They say Randy wasn't in the.
That's where I got my eye socket knocked out. Did Steve? Did you get your nose split up there too?
Yeah, I scored.
Me and Steve walked away with serious injuries, and we still got the show from there.
Number 6 got the 6, all right. Yeah.
Got the 6. I got the 6, and I looked like I was in a daze with the blood just draining from my nose. And they were like, "Oh, that's broke. That's broke." Here I am holding the football with my eyes closed.
But you caught it. You ain't let go.
Nah, I didn't let go. I wouldn't have heard the end of that if y'all
No, hell no.
told me to let go. At
Yeah.
least
Hey,
I got the
I see
touchdown.
Mike Stew on the line. What's up, Mike?
What's up, superstar?
Young
Is
Stewart.
that Mike Stewart?
Yes, sir.
Young
Mike Stewart.
Stewart.
Mike Stewart can probably speak on the official side. Mike.
What's going on, my brothers? Happy New Year.
Who put him on the call?
Who the hell is that talking about why I get on the call?
Put him on the call. Mike, get your ass down there to go rest somebody somewhere.
Oh,
Hey Mike, you see the game. You played the game then. You see the game now. Is it as physical? Because they asked the question. None of us except Stacey still play, but you out there seeing it from both sides. What's your thought on it?
No, it's not physical. These crying ass dudes now, they cry like fucking faggots, man. Back in the day, we get, like you said, Paul, we can get into a scuffle and continue to play. These dudes now, they get into a scuffle, they want to run to their car, pull out their gun. These niggas ain't real. These some sissies, man. They some.
Is that why y'all don't allow them to play physical, Mike? Because you understand their mentalities aren't like ours.
Yes,
We wanted to go home to our families, and we had our families out of games.
Yeah.
Even though we acted up, we had our families and our kids that grew up, so we weren't going to do but so much.
Oh yeah, most definitely, and that's why we don't allow them to get that physical, because we know it's gonna turn into a big ass brawl. Then the police gonna be called. You know, see, we ain't had that problem.
That's why you shut down my All-Star game.
We wouldn't show up. We were
Hey, Mike, that All-Star
Mike,
game
if you
got out
wasn't
of
married,
hand.
I think he was auditioning. I would think he was auditioning for Match.com. Shot.
I know. What are you doing?
Hey, I'm in my man cave chilling, man. That's how I chill in my man cave.
Man, Mike. Throwing the press on it.
Hey, Mike, you got
out
to
of
show us your
control,
hands
ho.
at all time, bro. You
Huh?
looking real sexy over there.
You said what? I need to put my shirt on?
Yes.
Man, y'all terrible, man.
Say
I'm
it,
minding my
yes.
business. I just get a request to get on the podcast. I'm sitting here minding my business.
Look at
man.
Derek. Hands up.
Oh wow, man! I ain't messing with y'all, man. I'm chilling in my man cave watching
If
the
your
news,
screen
man.
get wet, we know it ain't the snow.
Oh.
Hey, Dirk, I'm a married man. I don't gotta do that, ho.
I'm
Hey,
just
I'm a
messing
married
with you,
man.
bro.
I know, bro.
I know. I'm just messing with you. All right, what's
But yeah.
up, Mike? What you got?
Next
What you
question,
got?
nephew.
Go ahead, Mike.
When it come to like bringing the team together, we had a question one time where it was like, what do you pick, talent over loyalty? And like, do you play talent in these big games? You know, it's nationals coming up. You playing one of the biggest teams. Do you play somebody who just came to your team to play with you just for like this one tournament, or do you pick loyalty, play the person who's been paying their dues, going to practice, who can run that hurry up offense? Like, how do you choose to make those decisions in big tournaments?
I'm gonna let them
let me
answer
start.
first, but Mike, that is a great question because every
Right.
one of these men on here have been in that situation.
Being
This,
So
being
yes,
hey,
go
Mike.
ahead, Dirk.
being new, I would say
Wait.
Stacy probably can answer this better than anyone. He played the most important position out of all of us. But I would say it really depends on the position. Like if you can snatch up a stud rusher right before the tournament, that's good. But if you're talking about like a slot receiver or blocking back who's used to the quarterback doing certain things,
Chemistry.
I wouldn't suggest that. But somebody like
Exactly.
a special teams change, somebody can return them kicks and change field position for you, or a dynamic rusher, that would be the only time I would see the team making a concession. But if we've been bumping all
Yep.
year long, nah, ain't nobody coming in and taking nobody's spot. We've been fighting too
Yeah,
much over the year, and
yeah. The
plus it's
Warriors,
prime
That's up to
time.
chemistry.
Yeah, it's prime
they
time.
didn't
People
do
want to
that.
show off.
We didn't have to do that. Like I,
But wait a
like,
minute, correction. Early on, before we started winning, we had a few of the Chiefs because Chiefs was our brother team. So every now and
Right.
then we have a few of the
but
Chiefs
that was
come over.
because they just wanted to play. They just wanted to go to play because they wasn't going to
They
play.
just wanted to bump, but they wasn't in
Hey,
for the win, like Steve
but
said.
to answer the
We didn't need it.
question,
Go ahead.
some people got bumped out of positions, like when Caddy would come in for safety, or we had some blocking back. Vic would come in there blocking back. We had certain players come in and play with us, but it was all right because they was our brother team. Nobody was
But
trying to.
Dirk, they were never part of us when we were winning our national championships.
I was getting to that, Slim. I said in the beginning, before we started winning, we had them coming over. But once we was locked and loaded, nobody was coming in. Like if you wasn't part of the team, you wasn't playing. Because practice was just that serious. Like we was deep. The roster was deep, like in all positions. We had people that could play multiple positions. We ain't had no one trick ponies on our team.
Yep.
Yeah, we did.
That's where I was going, Dirk.
We had one
I kind of
trick
went
pony.
out.
Who?
My signal went
Tony
out with
Black
that game,
on the line. You can't talk about Tony in his face.
I was talking about Harry.
Who?
Well,
Hey,
Harry was
but
over.
Harry.
Nah, don't
He played
talk-
quarterback.
Harry-
No, Eric was not a one-trick pony.
I said Harry, not Eric. I said Harry.
Wait, no,
Oh, Harry. No. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I want to say that we were in Annapolis one time, and we were shorthanded, and Harry played some defense.
Harry played corner.
We
He
have
played
had to
corner,
sub
and he
Harry
played
in on defense where we've been shorthanded, and the brother stood his own.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Harry
he
played a
did.
couple of positions.
Right.
Stop hating,
We
Stacey.
were
You
just
got the
and
position,
Mike,
man.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think once again it comes down.
Harry, the one trick pony.
Mike,
Yeah.
honestly,
When
when
Harry
you
played
when
was
you look at all your national championship teams, when you really look down and you get deep, and this is why y'all remember I suggested we be called the core. When you look at the core of all these national championship teams, the main guys that were there, they generally grew up together, played ball together. A lot of these teams that we played against, they played high school ball together. Some of them even play college together. Whether it be brothers, whether it be the Cutters, the Chiefs, a lot of them played together. So I do believe that
Office, man.
it ain't just always about talent. It's about, having that chemistry and knowing because, I don't consider myself one of the best players out there, but what I do consider myself, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, I'm one of the best I'll pick your ass up and coach you up and make you as great as you can be. I'm really good at that on the football field. And I just think that you have to have that. You don't necessarily need all the talent in the world. The Cutters weren't the most talented team. We played against, the Dirt Devils. We played against, what was the team that had all the Packers? You know what I'm saying? That had NFL players. We done played against the Cowboys. We done played against some of the greatest teams in flag football. And sometimes they didn't always have the best talent. Or sometimes, guess what? They was more talented than us on paper. But we knew how to win. And so that's what I believe. I think it comes down to a lot of chemistry and knowing each other as a player and knowing how we done seen teams fight. That's something I've never seen on the Warrior sideline because that's the one team that I'll connect on. There was not one time that any of us ever got in each other's face to fight. We just seen that the NFL going twice this past week. We done seen other teams do it. I can't think of any time that any player on our team was ever ready to fight each other.
Nah, but there's been a lot of
That's
cuss outs,
brotherhood and
though.
camaraderie.
We got
Been a
cussed
lot
out.
of cuss outs between one another, though. There's
Hey,
been a lot of cuss
but it
outs.
was all love. It was
Oh, yeah,
all
Hey,
straight
love.
it was blah blah blah
Yeah, straight up.
with the mismatched shoes.
Hey, look. But that's the love we have for each other. We ain't have to talk behind each other back, man. It
No,
was just
no.
to your
Straight
face
up. It
to
was
make
straight
you
up.
better.
Yeah.
Dirk, I don't care if one of us got beat on a play, if one of us got burnt, if we dropped a pass, you didn't hear the next receiver up saying, take him out, put me in. There was none of that. We weren't greedy. It was
We
love.
just want.
Nah,
We
it was
just wanted
always
to
That's
play.
a lie. That's a lie.
sometimes pushing
You don't
the
think so,
things.
Dirk?
We just wanted to play.
Take Thurman out.
That's what it
Steve
was.
better than him.
Who said that, Dirk?
The whole receiver core.
Hey, no, I just think with Thurman, no, what it was Thurman said, let's do it like this, and then let's do it like this. So we was like, nah, let's see do it like that and score a touchdown.
That's because Steve was an
Oh,
Thurman, you good at practice, but sometimes you gotta pass the range too. We didn't all been through that.
Yeah.
And
now-
Steve ain't mentioned in his introduction that he was the fastest, one of the fastest in flag football.
Oh,
We
Point blank
got right
period.
around to racing, but he was.
Wait,
one
I
of
look
the
at Stacy shaking his head. Steve was
No, I
faster
said
than
by
you.
far.
Stop it.
No, I said by
Oh,
far.
okay.
Like, rule, like there's
He
no
was one of the fastest to play the game, point blank period.
like no doubt. Like that's a no brainer.
I bet he ain't faster than that little ass dog he got in his lap now. What the hell you out picking up a little ass dog like that in this snowstorm, Steve?
What happened to him, Steve?
Come
What
here,
happened to the
Toto.
people?
Hey, Pink,
Right. That dog said he walked in the snow.
That dog got a hoodie on. That
Hey,
dog got a
Pinky.
hoodie on.
hold on, y'all. Pinky got a question for y'all that she asked last week or the week before last. She want to ask you guys.
Hey y'all, so this question can go for Mike or Steve because I know y'all are actually. Well, actually, no. This is another question. Okay, so this question is for everybody. What established you as having an A team versus a B team in regards to today's guidelines or requirements versus back then? I don't even think there was a B league back then, but whatever.
Oh, it
Go
was.
ahead and answer the
It was.
question.
Hey, hold on, real quick before we answer. I want everybody to think about this. Do y'all remember when Steve used to call Conrad? We used to be like, "You don't want to play Rocky? You don't want to play?" Because he swore up and down that Conrad kept us from them big games. That Conrad protected us.
Why you think so, Steve?
Because everybody else. Think of the teams that we were talking about. The Cutters
Right.
was around. The
Cutters,
Chiefs was around.
Chiefs.
All of those teams, they weren't going to the AFFL. They were going to the USFL.
We was going to Miami, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Right. And that was my thing. We dominated the AFTL. I mean, that was a joke, to be honest with you.
Steve,
Well,
we
hold on.
lost.
And Dirk, that's why we don't get our props
Back to the
because we
question.
were winning
That was the
AFTL
question I
championship.
had, y'all.
Hold on,
Stacey,
though.
Stacey,
Hold on.
It was,
before you go,
To answer that, that was a Mike Sion, God rest his soul, Conrad Bassett beat, God rest his soul.
oh really?
Those, that's why we didn't never do nationals, because Mike Sion and Conrad were like all in water for whatever reason. I don't know why.
But the talent was USFTL. It wasn't AFTL.
Facts.
No, not debating that.
And real quick to answer her, there was B League and there was C League, but we never played. We came straight into A.
Yeah.
And
We had
what
too much
defined
talent
that?
for
What
No,
defined
but
that?
define it. Even if you didn't play B or you didn't play C, what was the determination?
It was the talent.
Then? Did it have
Talent.
did it have
Competition.
to do with talent? Did it have to do with the number of talented players you had? Did it have to do with your coaching? Did it have to do with the commitment level or
All of that. All of that.
All of that. All of that. All of that.
I hate
And
to
plus,
say
Because
it.
B and C, we used to call it Miller Lite League.
Hate to
the
say
players
it, but
we
the
had,
quarterback-
the players we had,
Yes, Stacey.
we
you're right.
couldn't. Our pride, our ego, our talent wouldn't allow us to play anything less than A.
Right.
So that's a team decision.
True.
If you're gonna play B or C, that's how you evaluate yourself and your team. But the talent we had, we'll be cheating if we went to C or B.
Yeah,
We-
because the
we-
teams
Also, Dirk, it was never our decision because when we came on, the Warriors were A.
Nowadays, it's more
already back to that.
you look at a bracket and you see these sorry C teams playing. I'm gonna be like, Menace can win that, and I'm gonna drop down just to
Yeah.
win.
So has there ever been a situation or instance where y'all, whatever team y'all were playing on, started even have like that one person like, damn, maybe we should go down to D,
Never.
build our talent level up.
Never.
or maybe we
Never.
should-
We never had that. Never,
Yes,
never had
yes. Hold on. I'm about to
When?
refresh our memory.
When,
I'm about to refresh our memory. When we were the core,
Lions.
we were the core, and we knew that we didn't have enough because to be A, you got to have enough players.
Hey man,
We
we
didn't go
might as well stop
hold
saying
on.
we was the core. We played one league, one
That's
season.
it.
Hey,
And
one
that was
spring season.
That's
Right.
it.
Hey, what,
8
what,
games.
And that determined that we weren't.
Nah, that's when we said we weren't going to nationals, remember? And then I went and played with all that.
No,
Right.
no. We
said
didn't keep
played
the core
fall.
because
We all
Stacey
played
left
with
us
all
on
net,
that.
bum.
You're not listening.
Whatever.
We played the fall because we went down Akatink. What was that joint? That Akatink. We played in the little Northeast National Regional.
Mhm.
After that game, we said, all right, well, we're getting ready to go to nationals. And dudes was like, well, we not going. Some dudes couldn't go, some dudes wasn't to go. But I was like, well, I'm still going. So we played a year.
And that's why I say A and B, and C comes down to commitment because C players, you can show up on a Saturday, you can show up on a Sunday. We call that the Miller Lite League. B League, you're going to get some players that's going to show that. But when you play A League, the majority of your team has to be committed to take those trips, to pay that fee when it comes to it, or you ain't A. You wasting your money.
Straight up.
Right.
It's a commitment.
But the thing is, Paul, even saying in that, we went and won nationals with 11 people.
That's why I said you have to have numbers too.
Right, but I'm just saying I'm talking about the core thing was this dude's not wanting to play. Like it was just, nobody wanted to go to nationals. Like y'all crazy, we going to nationals.
We weren't good enough to go to nationals. We knew we was gonna go there and get whooped.
We were definitely
Y'all
going to
y'all see Zoe
We did not
comment?
go at all. We did
Y'all
not
see
go at
Zoe
all.
comment?
What'd he
What'd he say? I'm definitely.
It's
It
definitely
depended on
a
the coaches as
commitment
well.
thing, but it's also
There it is. It's coaches. Like I said, good job, Zoe.
Mhm. Coaches
So,
matter.
just another question to piggyback off this question,
Uh-huh.
because I know we have a broad age range of people who are watching this podcast. What would be your advice to the younger age groups that are out here now that are stuck in B and C and need to move up to A? Because A is starting to suffer because people keep trying to, stay in B because I don't know why, or stay in C because basically those leagues are paying to play and they're not getting any money from that. So
Well, I'm gonna say this. The problem I see is
You ain't seen my
the
hand, man.
mentality. You have spoiled players that just want this the generation where everybody got a trophy.
Okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This
Scared
is
to
the generation where it's okay to be second place. And the dudes you see on this screen, we didn't take home second place trophy.
Nah.
A second place trophy got thrown in the trash on the way out the parking lot. So what you see with these dudes loading up to go down and play B is because there are certain teams that you can't beat. And instead of striving to beat them and show up on their platform, we'll just go down here and take this little BS championship.
So basically,
But we also took a lot of bumps and bruises.
So basically,
Yeah.
what you're saying is, in order for you to be the best, you have to beat the best. That's your
All day.
advice to.
Agreed.
All day.
But
you have to practice too.
young lady, what's your name?
One thing
What's your name? What's your name?
Pinky. That's Pinky.
Who?
Pinky.
The bad girl.
Pinky. Hey, look. For real,
That's
for
why I'm
real.
not bad, Mike.
Hey,
I'm
Pinky.
a lot.
You bad, you a bad bitch.
Hey, I'm talking.
No, she's not. She's a bad girl.
Hey, Pinky, look, it starts with commitment. If the teams ain't committed,
Yeah.
they'll never move up. If they don't have practices like games, they'll never move up. You got players that want to show up on game time and think they going back from their high school days, their boys club days, and they show up on game time thinking they can be productive. You don't have no camaraderie on game day. If you ain't practiced during the week, if y'all not talking during the weekday, going over plays over the phone, like all them little things matter. So if you don't have a commitment, you're never going to move up. A lot of people stay in B so they can rob money. They can get the money to go to tournaments. They stay in B to say they doing something. They feel good in B, but their vision is short term. Their vision is
they're
short
afraid,
term. They had a commitment for the game.
and they're afraid to lose that money because they don't want to put that money up because
Frank brought up a good point. His first time out, he met us at Lake Arbor Community Center. We used to have practice indoors. We had to.
Come on, man.
We would have meetings where we just meet to talk about things. Like Dirk said, that's commitment. You know what I'm saying? That's we had players and people who maybe we were out of town for a weekend tournament and they might have had a family affair going on a Saturday, and these dudes would either hop on a plane or drive 5-6 miles after that Saturday event, knowing they weren't going to get to play Saturday, but guess what? They was amped to play on Sunday. That's the commitment and the type of love that we shared and had as a team. And I'm gonna be honest with you once again, because we've been on different teams. I've seen that with the number of teams, but those are your teams that are A-League teams. B-League teams, C-League teams, guys come and go, but your A-League teams, guys are there for the long haul.
So how do you feel about A teams creating B teams just to go down in B and say, hey, I'm gonna play around in B because this
That's
is what I
pure
want
money.
to do?
That's in
because
purely
they're
just for
stealing
the
money.
money.
That's what that is. They're
That's
afraid
all
to
that
play.
is.
Yup.
They're afraid to put that money up against
None
the
of
A
us
team,
accept that.
so they go steal the money in B.
None of us,
That's what
none
it
of
boils
us
down
accept
to.
that. That's not cool.
Well, you see, here's the thing, though, Pinky. From my perspective, when I came on to the Warriors, it was either you all the way in or you can just go ahead and leave. Because after a 2-hour
Yup.
practice, we're going right to that hut, and me and Stacy, me and Dirk, me and Steve, we're gonna talk about what the hell we just did, about why on this one particular drive the defense did this. So by the time game time came, it was automatic. And my personal thing is, it has to be the commitment. But jumping sideways a little bit, Dirk, we was never better than when Stacy said on the ball. If we ever went to the huddle, it slowed things down. But when Stacy said on the ball, let's go A1 left. Nobody stopped the Warriors. We stopped ourselves whenever we go back in the huddle. Steve, am I lying? When we
Nah, you
played
ain't
Dirk, am I
lying.
lying? You know what I'm talking about.
Hey,
And
when we
Paul, we
were under
got it together.
pressure and that clock was rolling, nobody
Come
could
on,
adjust
man.
us.
When Stacy say on the ball, and he start calling them numbers out, man, the defense be looking scared, you know.
But that was on the
Hey,
coaching
But
too.
the only way
You
you can
can't
do that,
slack.
Frank, the only way a team can do that is once again practice,
Come on, man.
knowing each other, and those are the teams you see. If once again, if you got to come into your huddle every single play, you know, because we can name some of the greatest quarterbacks to play, from Stacy to Pete to Buck to, you know what I'm saying, we keep going to Nasty to, you know, we can go on and on. Mike Grisby.
Mike Grisby.
What's my man that ran the Ohio team?
What's it?
White boy,
Patera?
big man.
Bob
Hey,
Patera?
y'all.
Yeah,
Real
Bob,
quick,
Big Bob. So you look at some of these guys, my man from OSU, the quarterback from OSU, these quarterbacks, they knew their receivers and their receivers knew them. And the only way you can do that is practice.
Right. Hey,
But
Pinky.
to stay
Hey,
on
Pinky.
task, but
We had a coach that would make us practice without the football, just so everybody
right.
could break their roots at the same time. Like everything was about spacing and motion. Like
Spacing.
we practice without a
and
football.
you can't be slacking on the route. You gotta
No.
burst off.
That's
the
right.
line.
Listen.
Even if it
That
wasn't
is
coming to
one of
you.
the most important things, because
Pinky.
that right there is what helped the quarterback with their timing. And that's how we did it during practice. So when we played, it's like, hey, this ain't nothing else. We don't slack, because if you slack, you ain't playing. So guess what? You want to be out there. But the thing is, at the end of the day, we all wanted to be out there and play with each other anyway. So
And one more thing, Pinky.
Go ahead,
You
Tom.
ever see the movie Drumline? That's
Yes,
how
I
our practice
have.
was.
Dick
Any
Cannon.
given time, you can get P3.
So it was given fraternity.
Hell yeah, it was a
No,
fraternity.
flag
When
football
you
is a
first started
fraternity.
playing, you had to run.
Listen, I'm an example of this practice thing, because my first game, Stacy called an audible on the right side, and They didn't know what the hell the numbers were at the time, Dirk. And I told you this story before. So I figured, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and run
I'm
a
okay
9.
with it. I'm okay. You
Man, I
got the
come to the
third,
sideline.
I
Coach is
mean,
like,
two,
if you don't know what the fuck you supposed to do, get the
75,
fuck off the field.
1 or 2.
I look at Tony
Yup.
Black. I say he will never say that to me. I've memorized every single audible in the damn book, so I never had that happen to me again. Nah, you ain't getting me like that, dog. I figured
So,
I run a
Pinky, with
9.
that being said, like your question, to get back to your question, because I think we elaborated, guess what A is? It's a mindset.
Yeah.
Does everybody agree with me? A is a mindset. Either you want to play A and you want to be the best, or
You
there
know,
are people in life, and we know them, some people are mediocre, and there's nothing wrong with that. And some people just want to come out and have a good time every now and then. They want to go out there, put on the uniform, go have a great time, and head home. But if you want to play A and you want to be good at A, it's a real mindset. You have to make it up in your mind. Your team has to decide that we want to be the best. Because if not, you're gonna waste a whole lot of money playing A if you ain't ready for A.
Hey, back in
Okay, I
our
Yeah,
day,
have
we got one more question from
one more
London.
question.
London, you can go ahead and ask your question. You want to ask Stacey something?
Oh yes, Stacey, how do you feel about coaching the women? And what's your perspective
Love
on
it.
that?
Good question.
Love it. No,
Stacy and Mike, both of y'all answer that question because both of y'all have
Oh
coached.
yeah, Stu do.
well, for me,
That's why he got that shirt on. He thinks some women flag football players gonna play for him now. Like, look at my muscles.
nah,
Over to you, Paul.
I love
Over to you.
the women because it changes the game. It changes the way you coach. It changes most when you coaching dudes. There's an expectation of football IQ where if I got a 20-year-old guy and he's been playing football since he was 7 years old, I can tell him, hey, run me a 10-yard corner and break to the back cone, and he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The difference is when you coaching these women, they're still great athletes, but they haven't been taught that football IQ yet. You have to train it down and instill that IQ and instill that technical, because women are way more technical than dudes will ever be. That's one thing I can definitely see that.
That's the best thing about us. We do exactly what you tell us to do, but that's also the worst thing about us. We do exactly what you tell us to do. Run a 5-yard out. Okay, the defender is standing at 5 yards. Okay, so go past them. Why would you run a 5-yard if they still standing there?
Right, and that's the IQ side of things. So what you just learn is you have to teach every variation that you've seen, that I can say I've seen as a player and a coach. You teach it all and don't assume that they just know because they're out here. But women has definitely been a game changer for me. Coaching period.
Yeah, it has been a game changer for me too, and I started coaching ladies just to help Dante out from the beginning. But as I got into it more and more, I wanted to teach more. Because some of the girls are still not running the routes right, so you wanted to teach more. That's what made me start.
Yeah.
Stacey, you miss coaching me?
No.
First of all, I still coach you because when I do things, you come still work out with me.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Try it again.
Hey, so Stacey and Mike,
Have any
who
of you
you
guys
got?
ever thought about starting a team or anything like that again, just to try to get football back to how things were?
Mm-mm.
You said have we started things?
I'm gonna be honest. I just think the player mentality is different.
I started the Menace. I started Maryland Menace, but
Oh,
the
okay.
commitment wasn't made.
Well, you need to go ahead and curse PJ out because he could have run y'all right into the ground.
PJ.
PJ in charge now, Pop.
PJ is gonna
Yeah,
run
but-
y'all right into the ground. So go ahead, curse
Hey,
him out.
look.
PJ.
You mean funny PJ?
Back to your question. Back to your
Comedian
question.
funny PJ that went to Florida with us, Dirk?
Nah, not him.
He
The
came
video,
from-
right?
Dirk, hell no. That was at the game when we was watching Mike's game. That's who runs the Menace now?
This is the actual podcast.
Yeah. Hey, but look.
Okay.
Now you have to come back
Dirk, why you think there ain't no?
Yeah.
It's not as much commitment as we had when we was coming up. Is it?
Hey,
just,
hold on,
is
fellas.
it just-
Look, that's what I was about to get into.
What's
I
up,
was
young
about to get
man?
into that. Because look,
Hey.
look, Pinky, when I started Maryland Menace, they were an A squad. They were just a little rough around the edges. They just had to learn the game. We
They
was
had all
on
the
our way.
pieces.
We was on our way to A. We played 8 teams, but at the same time, the commitment wasn't there. And when I was dishing out more money than I was receiving from the players,
And we definitely saw the
then they
A talent. Every one of us that went out there saw the A talent. They definitely were an A team, but they were a young A team that reminded me of us, but they had more speed than we had.
they
don't
had
think
more
so.
fun than us too,
No, they didn't.
in a
I
good
think they
kind
had
of
more
way.
fun.
Shit,
In
they
a
had
good
more
kind of
fun
way,
They
though.
had more speed.
They had more
We
speed
had
than us.
speed across the board, man. We had more speed across the board.
Nah, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hey,
They had, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. We had players who were decent players and good players, but really on our team, other than Steve, Stacy, you got a long stride. Dirk has a long stride.
That
Who
didn't
else
mean
is
he was
fast?
slow.
It's a difference between fast. When I say speed, now, come on, y'all coaches, y'all have coached. There's a difference between speed because I'm far from fast. I'm quick, but I ain't never been fast. They have a fast team.
We were fast.
Well,
We just knew how to play the ball.
I
We knew how to
don't
get the
name 3
areas,
teams
and
that had
that's
more
what flag
speed than us,
football is
man.
about, knowing how to play areas. 7-7-7 equal 21. That's the first down. That moved the ball. That's all flag football is. Sevens, small
Where's the
spaces. Every now and then you get beat long.
but where's the speed at? If you look at their receivers versus our receivers,
Not even.
okay,
I can't hear you, Steve.
Can you hear me? Can you
Yeah,
hear
go
me?
ahead.
Yes.
So they had 2 fast receivers, and Dirk, help me out with this, right? One of them
Menace
was
had way more than 2 fast receivers.
Wait, slow down. Watch this. Offensively, I'm gonna go with offense and D. Offensively, they had what's the dark skinned dude name? My Precious, and then they had this short.
Look at Mike falling out.
You talking
And
about
We
Duke?
ain't gonna call people by nicknames that we call them in Florida or something.
No, they had two. No, they had 2 fast
Yeah, Duke was
receivers.
fast.
Duke was one, and what's the other dude name?
Steve, that's Steve. I'm gonna be honest with you. You only thinking offensive minded. What I'm talking about is, and I'm gonna be honest, I played the rush. Their rush was way faster than our rush.
Well,
I think our rush was more effective, but their rush was faster than ours when I watched.
Hey, Paul,
I'm
let's
gonna
keep
tell
it
you why they.
real.
I'm
We
gonna tell
knew
you
our
why
rush
that
was
rush
wasn't
was.
the best.
Wait, but I'm gonna tell you why that rush the third wasn't, because I also rushed too. You rushed too. We had fast.
Nah, I'm talking about, and I hate that, Steve. You weren't rushing. You was playing secondary.
Yeah, we had the
I
best
played
secondary.
rush. Yes, I did. Beast had me rushing. Remember that.
No, but I'm talking about, and I hate that, Steve. You, Stacy, and Dirk, and y'all was in that back.
Paul, I got you. When we were winning, Steve, it was me, you, Fuji, and Dirk.
Thank you.
Stop playing.
Thank you. Exactly. And we didn't have that dynamic fast rush. What we had was rushers that were disciplined and they knew how to hold the quarterback in. But I'm gonna be honest, that Menace team, if we'd have lined up face to face, all our players against their players, I think they'd have beat us on running, relay race.
No.
Oh, relay.
We had G Money.
No.
We had G Money and Sweeney. I don't think
Nah.
so, dude.
I'm
We had fast
telling
dudes.
you, man. We had
We had
speed.
fast dudes.
We had
See,
speed.
I'm gonna be
That's
honest
why-
with you. I look at Sweeney as an off and on. G Money is solid. G Money was a solid warrior.
They had off and
I
on.
can't necessarily count Sweeney. Sweeney played
They
what,
had
2
off and on.
seasons?
Yeah, but they had
hold
somebody
on,
who played
hold
X or
on.
something. He was there, and sometimes that he wasn't there. You know,
Hey,
so they had.
Stacy and Mike, since y'all still around, what teams stick out to you on this list? Or what advice you got for some of these teams, especially in the area?
On this list right here?
On this list right here.
Oh, the Savage Sisters and the Seminoles wasting their money.
No, you're right. Eric was fast.
You said they wasting their money?
They wasting their money.
Why you say that? They playing.
Oh, wow.
It's Harvard Sisters, but not Virginia Vixens.
Virginia
Right.
Vixens might win one game, but the Savage Sisters and the Seminoles is not going to win any game.
I don't
Damn,
think the
Mike.
Savage Sisters are that bad. I think
don't
they
think
need
so
to
either.
have a little bit
Mike
more.
killed them out.
They beat
They
Hey,
got talent, Mike.
regular season.
Damn.
Mike,
they
they got
coach is
talent.
horrible.
The
Both of
Diamonds.
them teams' coaches are horrible.
Mike ain't got mean in his old age.
Yeah,
Mike
he
say they
did.
wasted their money.
They
Mike
waste
ain't
their
used to be
fucking
like that.
money.
He used to give
No,
everybody
no,
a
no, no,
chance.
no.
Hey, so Mike, who you got? Who the
Savage
top three in this
Sisters
list?
are not wasting their money. The
Nah,
Savage Sisters
I
have
think they're gonna make noise
extreme
too.
potential to beat a lot of these teams. Carolina Diamonds,
Yeah,
trash.
Diamonds is trash.
Atlanta Arsenal, trash. Atlanta Lady Warriors, trash.
He
And
said
DOA, I
trash.
don't know who that
Nah,
is.
they can
They
beat
dead
all.
on the rival
I
lady,
think
but
they're
it's
in the
trash.
mix of this.
If you know, you know, trash.
Surely.
They have a higher percentage at beating most
I
of these.
think they're in the mix in this list. They're in the mix.
No.
He must got grudge
Mike,
with Savage.
Savage Sisters in
He
the
may
mix. You
hate
wanna know
somebody
why?
on Savage Sisters.
Savage
Ain't
Sisters
no
gonna
way
be
about
the
it.
ball.
No, my question is, will Mike be refereeing the games that these women do? Because that's a conflict of interest. He gonna
That's
make sure they don't
exactly
win no
why.
games if he rep.
Hey,
That's why
hey,
his
I'm not
bum
repping
ass
any
will
games at
never
National
fucking rep
because
our
I'm
game.
coaching.
Mike,
I
I'm
think
not
they
Okay.
repping
really,
any games
I
because
think
I'm
they really
coaching.
gonna make
about
some
to
moves.
say,
Okay.
Mike, if you walk your ass on 8 women's 8 field the rest, I'm a
Well, no, let's go to that
Hey,
D1 list.
my team is playing A, so I definitely ain't repping none of them.
Oh,
All
because
right,
I was
we can
going
look
to
at the
test the
D1 list
fuck out
too.
your ass. Because you get on my
Top
motherfucking
three.
nerves.
Yeah,
You
this.
get on my nerves too, Piggy.
You just don't like the fact that I be bull rushing these ladies.
Oh
You
my
just
God.
give it up.
Big A. I
She
love
play
when you
old
bull
school.
rush her.
She play old school. She said
Oh
she
my
be bull rushing them, Mike.
Hey, she be fucking them up. I love that shit. It's just that
So then why you
after
don't let her
effect.
play? Why you don't let her play?
He be
Oh, I
throwing
love to
back.
play.
It be him.
They love
No,
throwing
it don't. It do not.
Love throwing the
It's the
flag.
after effect what she does.
the
All that
laundry
Oh, she's
unnecessary
standing over
bullshit.
top of them. She's standing over top of them and celebrate.
Over top of them. Not anymore.
laundry.
Hey,
I don't stand over top of them anymore.
lies.
You have to learn that.
Hey,
Hey, sweetheart, that's good because you have to learn
bull
that.
rush? Do you
Hey,
bull rush
Paul.
Big Brother?
Hey, she the reason Nationals not at Austin Penn anymore.
Really?
Pinky started that fight.
Wow.
No, Pinky.
Oh, stop that, Mike. Don't
No, no.
start that.
Start the fight. She finished.
She started
She didn't
that
start it.
fight.
She didn't start it. She finished it.
She ended
No,
it.
y'all gonna give me
He
time to
said
talk.
she
Mike,
ended
Hey,
it.
y'all
keep
about
it
to do
100.
this
Pinky
because
didn't
a
start
grown
that fight.
man.
She didn't start the fight.
No,
Oh,
Mike.
Pinky,
No.
you not the one that caused all that controversy that was on the internet and on Facebook
He
and all
hit
that,
me.
are you?
If a grown ass man hit your daughter, what do you expect her to do?
Oh,
Whoop
you
his
gun
ass.
him out. Your daughter's supposed to swing. You gun him out.
Thank you. Thank you.
You gun him out.
Start the fight. She ended it, y'all. I'm just letting y'all
I
know.
ended the fight. I didn't start
You
it.
didn't
I
start it.
have
No,
video proof and everything.
she
Footage. Show
started
the
it and
footage.
she ended it.
Well,
She didn't
everybody
start it,
She
Mike.
started it.
finished it, actually.
Show the footage. Let me see the footage.
All right,
I don't got
Mike,
it on
Mike
here,
and
but you
Stacey
don't worry
looking at
about
the
that.
D1
I
list.
got
Hey,
it.
just don't show the footage of rolling. Don't show the footage of rolling there.
Mike and
Oh
Stacey.
Lord, don't show that.
Please
All
don't
right,
show
train on track,
rolling
y'all.
again.
What
Oh,
did
We
Mike
still
got
talking
for this
football?
D1 list?
Let me go back to this. What
D1
about this
list.
list?
Hey, with this list right here, Mike, if all 6 DC teams play like they supposed to play,
Mhm.
we should come out on top.
Yeah, but who gonna be
Uh,
there?
let me look at the list. Dream Catchers, Black Mamas, and Lady Elite.
Oh, why?
I was about to say your end was a little too long. And
Okay, now I have a question for the ladies on because this
okay.
is a great opportunity, I believe, to present this because when we played, there was no real women's flag football. Like we would see it when we would go out of
Out
town,
of
and you
town,
would
yeah.
generally see white women out there playing it or Virginia teams. So
Oh, co-ed.
right now, there's a big trend in women's sports, point blank period. We understand there's a big push for all the right reasons. I got 4 daughters, so I love it. Do you all feel as though you're getting the same opportunities to
Absolutely
play
not.
as the
I do
A-League
not
men?
think I do not think we're getting the same opportunity when it comes to 8 women's contact because
Okay.
it's not appeasing to the eye. What is appeasing to the eye is lingerie football. What is appeasing to the
Mm.
eye is 5 women, 7, all that screen
I'm not
shit
tired of
because
you
ain't
getting
nobody
LeBron
getting
James.
hurt and ran over and sent back home to their mammy. I think if we weren't so physical in our format, we would have a little bit more chance to be publicly known, which is why we stopped going to FFWCT because they were so adamant in, putting screen players before us. And we're like, absolutely not. We bring you the money. There's no way you're going to sit up here and give us a field with no lines on it. You give us an 80-yard field after promising us a 100-yard field. There's no way you give an 8 women's contact team an 80-yard field over screen players, but they use half a goddamn field. So in that sense, that's when we started boycotting as a whole. All of the 8 women's contact came together and said, this is complete bullshit. There's no way. There's no way you're going to sit up here and treat us like that. When you stream, most of your streamers are coming from people who want to watch 8 women's content.
Mm-hmm. I've heard nothing but great things about your league. I need to come out there, whether it be Mike, Stacy. I've heard it from Roland. Everybody tell me to come out and watch the Deanwood. Like I hear more about the women's flag football than I've been hearing about the men's lately. So at some point, I do want to come out there and check y'all out. I hear y'all amazing.
We gonna put it on the show, regardless.
I heard that.
Because at the end of the day, then you don't hear a lot about men's because it's been around for so long. You're always going to get a show when you go see certain teams play in men. When you come out there and you've never seen anybody play football, that's a woman that's playing 8 contact that can retain the routes, the plays, the schemes, all of that, and actually see women execute that, and actually see women get. Well, we can't blindside block anymore, but we still kill people out there. You see bodies hit the floor, you be like, damn, is this women? Hold on.
And I take that back. I did see Stacy's team play in Virginia at a tournament. And I watched, me and my son and Roland watched the women's, and it was very entertaining. It was just as entertaining as the men. So I do take that back. I have seen you all's game. Remember Stacy at that tournament that I came out to?
So
But,
Stacy, I think Mike named
yes, in Richmond.
Breakfast, Lady Elite, and who else he named?
Black Mama.
Dreamcatcher.
Mama's
So what you said, if the 6 DC teams do what they gotta do, then we should bring home something. So what do those bottom 3 teams gotta do? Capital Punishment, Most Wanted, and DC Bad Girls. What they gotta do to, make
Capital
them-
Punishment isn't a bottom team. Dreamcatchers
I'm
and
saying
Capital
out of the
Punishment are
6 that he
they're
said.
gonna duke it out. If Dreamcatchers do what they're supposed to do, they're gonna beat Capital Punishment. They almost beat Bama.
CP is a
Even Dirk, we need to get plane tickets to go to Florida this year because it sounds like it's gonna be good down that thing. Frank, you trying to go too?
I think what
I'm
Mike was
coaching.
saying
I
is-
can't, bro. I'm coaching boys
Nah, I think
basketball.
what
so I'm
Mike was
stuck
saying
in.
is if DC teams play like they're supposed to be, we're all gonna be there fighting Sunday. Now, when you talk, I think that's what Mike was really saying. But of course, Elite
Yeah,
Mom
what do those
in any
teams gotta
order.
do to make it to Sunday?
play.
Say that again.
What do those teams gotta do to make it to Sunday? From what
Don't
you
beat
see?
yourselves.
Don't beat yourself. There it is,
Just
right
don't
there.
beat yourself. Just play consistent football and don't beat.
Do the women start on Friday as well, like the men's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all doing pool play, right?
Yeah. So it's
It's
either
my
Oh,
birthday
that's
the
what,
week before, so I
that's
need a
what they
bottom.
do now? Pool play?
What you
And then
say?
they reseed?
My
That's what
birthday
they
the
doing
week
now?
before, so I need a bottom.
when my birthday.
That same week, he's always down there for it. We always party for Stacey's birthday while we was down there.
My birthday come first.
And the
My birthday
NFL
first.
playoffs.
Huh?
When your birthday?
Friday.
No, you got me by a couple.
Yeah.
That's why we get along so well. But anyway,
Do we get along?
Tuesday. See me Tuesday.
All right,
But,
look, we're gonna run through these other lists.
Hold
So
on,
y'all
man.
can give us your opinion, Mike and Stacy. If y'all, Uncle Paul, Steve, Pops, if y'all know any of these teams, you can talk. But we got the men's 35 and over. You playing in that, Stacy?
Yeah, I've been getting in shape.
Of course he's playing.
Y'all winning that? Or what you got?
Yeah, I think we had the capability. There's nobody get hurt. We ain't get
Hey
hurt.
Stacey, who you running with? The All Met? Go back to that joint.
Look
So
at the team.
Stacey, you running with the All Met Legends?
Look at the team. There you go.
I know. So, hey, Mike, I'm gonna get my prediction because I played probably with a lot of these dudes and against these
I
dudes,
can't wait to see this
and
Buffalo
I'll be
team.
honest with you, all Matt is gonna bring it. But what might get him some go is if OSU can bring their real squad that we used to play against. If they, you know what I'm saying, what's the kid's name? Mike? Is he over 35 now?
Got to be over
Ain't no-
35 by now.
He should be.
Okay, I don't know. But if he can play with them, and then you know what? Philly always seems to bring it too. I don't know too much about them other teams, but the three teams I named I know are gonna be legit.
Kings of Florida should be nice to see. But yeah, that's like I said, I don't know too many others, but OSU, Philly be good. No, Mean Machine
Yup.
is from Tennessee.
And y'all,
Hey yo, y'all remember Mean Machine from Tennessee?
who?
The team in Tennessee, remember
Oh,
that?
when we went to Dyersburg, when we played down in Dyersburg. Yeah, Dyersburg, Tennessee.
That's them. That's that team, that same
Okay.
quarterback.
So they decent. They have some speed. They decent.
So, you know,
They had that.
35
All I know is y'all better not have the Silverbacks from Detroit come and whoop all y'all. Big busty jokers, the Silverbacks.
Hey man, all these teams are like the new rappers. I don't know none of them.
Oh, so they look like the new flag football uniform. I don't recognize nobody.
D3 teams.
D3, I don't even Disciples, Seminoles, ASAP.
Who is the DMV Seminoles, Stacey?
ASAP.
Who's the DMV Seminoles?
They're the men team to the women team. So
Hey, they wasted their goddamn money.
Get him, Mike! Mike, no, get him, Mike!
They wasting their goddamn money.
Hey, we can go D2. What is D2?
I'm going with Up in Smoke.
No, BI is not D2.
I'm going with Up in Smoke in this one.
Who?
Up in
Up in
Smoke.
Smoke Nice?
Up in Smoke.
Up in
Yeah.
Smoke is the A team, playing B.
Up in Smoke and Untouchables.
Oh, wow.
but
All right,
Up
who's
in
the head
Smoke
coach there? Like, who's their quarterback? Are there players we know?
That's Lil Pete. They got one of the best athletes playing.
Hey, no, I watched them in Virginia. Lil Pete and them should be playing A. That squad should be playing A. They that good.
I've asked them several times why they're not playing A. They said they want to win D2 and then move up to A.
They should be playing A. They that good. They can give a run in the A.
Up in Smoke should be playing
Oh, the Jets are playing down?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are right with it.
They can't.
Not the same Jets.
It ain't the same Jets.
Oh, they're not the same Jets? Okay.
Mm-mm. They
Okay.
can't do nothing with the A team. Absolutely not.
All right, we got D1.
So, this gonna be a really good fucking game. All of these
Hey,
games.
hey, hey, if
See,
Rick
now
don't
I'm
throw any
thinking about
interceptions,
flying down to Florida just for Sunday.
hey, if Rick don't throw any interceptions, AU will win it again.
If AU will, but if Six come down there playing how he's supposed to play, it's gonna be a
Six
problem.
with cheat code in them, right? That's your old squad, Stacey. That's all that, baby.
His old squad, he still play.
He said, "Oh, baby."
I'm
They're the Raiders. Is that like the OU Raiders?
Yes.
No, they're from Columbus, but it's not them.
Hey, I'm going.
Okay.
Hey, my Final Four is the UT Cobras, the All Stars, Chico, and Kings of Florida.
That's a good four.
I know that's
like
right. Didn't Kings of Florida? That's the one that last year, right?
Wait, you missing
They won
UT
it 2 years
Cobras.
ago.
You can't leave UT Cobras out.
Okay, 2 years
That's
ago.
what I said. UT Cobras.
UT,
Cobras,
Chico, AU, and I just think Kings of Florida, their style just messes everybody up because you don't see them a lot. So the style of play,
Okay.
they're like the old Hurricanes we used to play. No blocking.
What was the team that we played against the Vikings that ran that spread? That was the first time. And I know Steve, look at Steve want to bring it up. And we had to lock up man to man and Fuji. Look at Steve laughing like us. And remember, y'all, they spread across. They had every single player spread. And we had to lock up man to man. They wore like a Vikings kind of uniform.
No, that wasn't the Vikings. That was the Hurricanes from New Orleans.
Oh, the Hitman.
Yes, New Orleans. They were from New Orleans, yeah. But they wore the Vikings colors. They wore purple.
They were the Hurricanes first. Moss, and then they became the Hitmen.
They had that little short quarterback. My goodness.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
that
Steve,
team
you
had
remember
Steve.
locking up?
All right, we
Look
about
at Steve face.
to wrap it up.
Terrible.
Any advice you got for these teams on the Florida? Anything y'all want to say to wrap it up? Men or women?
Just
Stay
be your
hungry.
identity.
And
Stay
women,
hungry.
or
Stay hungry.
Men and women. I'm sorry.
Honestly, go down there to have fun.
Don't beat
Go down there
yourself.
to have fun. A- After everything, go ahead, D. Go ahead, D.
One of
Well,
my
we
one of
can
my
go on.
biggest things about going to Florida was don't merge in the last minute trying to merge with other
Exactly.
teams to try to make it in Florida. Just because you got all them stars on your team, y'all ain't going to jail. If y'all ain't been practicing since the summer together, y'all ain't gonna work.
If
Now
you
let's
want to
you
merge,
throw
you
that
got to
Stacey.
merge smart.
Huh?
There's only been one team that I've seen do that, and that was the DC United, but they did it prior to going to Florida, and that was the perfect merger, and it worked out well. When I say to everybody, all the young men and women that are going down there, one thing that we did do, like I don't think any of us ever felt pressure going to Florida, whether it was Miami or Orlando, we never felt pressure. We laughed, we joned on the ride down, we laughed, we joned at the airports. We had a good time when we got to our houses. Go down there and enjoy, embrace it. Don't just think about football while you're there. Now, when you're on that field, when it's time to ball out, ball out.
Boogie.
But go down there for the life experiences, for the camaraderie. Have a good time. And then,
And
like
wear
Derek
your
said,
mask.
here's the one thing that I've never liked. If you lose, if you lose, whether it be first 2 games, first 3 games, last game, don't stop becoming a free agent. Like, let it go. Just chill. Go back with your
No, Florida
team,
break up
work on some
teams.
things, see if it works for you, but don't always be about breaking up your team or leaving a team to go to a better team. I think that's a mistake that a lot of people make.
Steve, what you got?
That is
Any
a
advice for the teams
good
going to Florida?
comment.
Ain't no niggas, man.
Steve, you got any advice for these teams going to Florida?
Well, I'll say this. I mean, I've been out off the scene for a very long time, but what I will say is this: is one of the things is, and I'm gonna call it what it is, right? The teams that's going down, they know who's going to win. They know if they're going to win, if they're not going to win. You know how you're going to pretty much play before you even go down. You know how you're going to compete. To be honest with you, you got teams that have been on the stage, been there, so and then playing against some of these top-notch teams. So it's like there's no pressure from them. Them are the teams that are pretty much are going to enjoy themselves, going to have fun. But I will
Hmm.
say, like what Paul did say, is that regardless of the fact that you still, at the end of the day, you got to go down there and just play your best ball, and accept the outcome. I mean, but
Yep.
one of the most important things you got to do is, even though that you're down there, when you don't have to play, go scout, because you'll learn from that. And then even if you guys lost, still your job ain't done. Go and watch the other
Hang
team play
out.
so you can learn. Hang out so
That's
you can
right.
learn, and then
That's
hang
right.
out with your buddies, because at the end of the day, you guys are going to talk football.
That's
That's how
right.
you raise. That's how you raise your football IQ, because it's not necessarily about. It ain't always got to be speed, you know, because you can still. They say speed kills, but there is a way to manage that, And what I will say is that Cutters was one of the teams that
Thank you.
actually was able to do it, because they put people on defense that would just mask them. You wouldn't know. They keep moving them, and that was a smart
They
play.
played
It
zone.
was
They knew where to be.
Yeah, but it's not even just the zone. Because remember that one guy that we was like, man, he be on our defense, we'll crush him. But they kept moving him, so it's not like you couldn't really come up with a play for him, because they keep moving him. You don't know where he's going to be. So
Right.
so I would just say, just make sure that you go down there, have fun, and take it in stride, and stay the whole time and watch all the games as
Hmm.
much as you can. And on top of that, be a camaraderie of flag football.
All right, Moss, what you got? You got anything?
I mean, Steve's basically said a lot of it, but to make it more personal for myself, Stacy's, Mike Stewart's, Paul, all of us played receivers. So to take what Steve said even further, you know at some point you're going to be competing against some of these corners and safeties and defenses. Go see what they like to run. If y'all lost, let's say y'all go 2 on the barbecue or y'all lost early on Saturday, stick around, go watch some of these teams play, because at some point you're going to run into that guy, and that you put that in your mental floppy disk, be like, okay, cuz like he can't cover the post or he can't cover the flag, and that's all that stuff. It comes back to you because you're gonna run into some of these teams. You're just going to, by the law of averages.
What's up, Mike? You got anything for these teams going down?
I say going down.
Save your money. That's all Mike keeps saying.
Hey, going down, man. You gotta stick together as one team, man. You can't have one negative person break up that team. Even though that person not be playing good, still pick them up. Because when you start that negativity, it's like a virus. It go run right through the team, and next thing you know, you be at home with a loss. And talking about why we lose. So-and-so made us lose. You got to come together as one. One team, one goal.
All right, Stacey, what you got?
For me, I just say be mentally prepared. Do not beat play not to beat. Don't beat yourselves. Always play to win. What you can't do is don't beat yourselves. And just know there's always a moment in nationals, y'all. And everyone that's ever played, they can be there when there's adversity. Expect the adversity, embrace the adversity, and just keep playing through it. Everyone here can tell you on that run when you got to win them games. Always a play comes down to a play. Sometimes a play or two that changes the whole outcome. Just some people come back from them, some people don't. That's the difference.
All right.
Mike, can I say one thing? And this is a question that I pose to all my college teammates, because, you know, looking at college football now, when I played college ball, and even for some of these people who are on podcasts, you couldn't be no 6-year senior or 7-year senior. Well, now in college, because of COVID and because of the rules, sometimes you get to play 6 years, 7 years, and that's crazy. So my question to my college teammates was, if back when we played, and if we had more than 4 years of play eligibility and 5 years of being in college, would you have stayed and continued to play? And I told everybody, I said, think about it. Think about it before you answer. Because some of us had families, some of us wanted to move on in life and jobs. And just like flag football and any sport, it can kind of become a job where it becomes tiresome. And everybody answered the same way. Like, hell yeah. If I could have still played, I'd have played 6 years, 7 years. So the one thing that I say to you flag football players, because all these guys around here with these old bones, if we still had the bodies and the time, each and every one of us would still be out there playing. So embrace these moments. Play every moment. Every time you go to a Florida National, play it like it's your last. Because us old guys, even though a lot of us still scared to go out there and play 35 and older because we feel like we're too old. Only Stacey wants to do that. But go down there and play it like it's your last, because it can be. So enjoy that thing.
Well,
Live it
Stacey
to the
can
fullest.
still do that because Stacey still be putting these young niggas in the spin cycle. So
Because he plays quarterback. He ain't fucking running around. He plays quarterback.
He not getting hit like we did. He not getting hit like we did.
Shit.
Wasn't always a quarterback though, fellas.
Straight up. Straight
Yeah,
up.
you right. You wasn't always a quarterback.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up at the end of every show.
Mike, thank you for this opportunity, Mike.
Thank you guys.
Big up to Mike and this whole podcast. Y'all follow that man.
Much
Go ahead,
appreciated,
nephew.
brother.
Nephew.
We're gonna end the show with Pastor.
Change your
London.
name.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
You know it's daddy watch. You gotta do something.
Go ahead, London.
Oh shucks. Like, oh shoot. Like he would say, oh shoot.
Oh shit.
He ain't always say, oh shoot.
Hey, thank you, Mike. Mike, if we had a couple of drinks of him in Florida, he'd be like, oh shit.
Hey, Dirk acting fool.
Hey, he don't know
now,
that.
Dirk.
I didn't tell my
Don't try to
kids
keep a
that.
straight face now.
Huh?
Y'all keep that.
What'd you say, Dirk?
They don't know that side of me.
They don't know that side of your daddy.
Hey,
Hey,
Superstar.
Damn,
don't
your
worry
kid's
about.
grown.
Go ask your Uncle Kenny.
Exactly.
He
Derek,
don't need
your
no
kid's
drink.
grown.
Real quick,
Derek
and then
understand
I'm gonna
that's
leave y'all alone. I'm gonna end it on Facebook. London, go ahead, tell your jump.
All right, quote of the day. You can't defeat your demons if you're still enjoying their company.
Oh, facts.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a good quote.
Yes, indeed.
You can't defeat your demons if you're still enjoying their company.
Period.
Facts.
With that being said, that's why we got to beat the Cleveland Browns tonight. Here we go.
Where you get that from? The carryout?
They're my enemies. They're my enemies. We got to beat the Cleveland Browns tonight. Let's go, Steelers! We still got a chance, baby.
Oh, my bad. Hey, Washington football team people. How are you today?
Oh, shut
Oh,
up.
family, y'all ain't going nowhere.
We're
Y'all
already
ain't
in.
We're gonna end it.
Hey,
you know,
hey,
nephew
Steve.
loving it.
Hey, Steve.
I'm gonna end it on
Aren't you,
Facebook.
is your team in the playoffs, Steve?
Yep.
My team's